Welcome to one of the rare occasions where I just talk to the camera on my YouTube channel instead of sing to it. I am here. I always feel just really awkward talking to the camera. I feel like I stutter a lot when I talk, and sometimes my words just get jumbled together, despite me being a theater kid whose entire job is to enunciate. But there's a video that has been highly requested ever since I've pretty much started doing acapella on my channel. I've been putting this off for 2-ish years, and I figured today is the day that I'm finally going to sit down and make this video. So today I'm going to talk about how I make my acapella videos from scratch to finish. And yeah, just a disclaimer, I have no professional experience, no formal training, no education basically. First off, I've never had a voice lesson in my entire life. I don't know anything about mixing audio. I took AP Music Theory. I didn't study at all for it. I just kind of did everything by ear, and that's how I got a good grade on the AP test. I never studied for that class, which in retrospect I wish I did, so I would know the formal meanings behind everything I do, but I just kind of play everything by ear. I do have perfect pitch. That helps a lot. It's a lot of me making up stuff, but I thought I would take everyone who's interested along in this process with me. So let's get started. For supplies, I use my 2018 MacBook Pro. It's the tiniest one because I didn't want to pay for an expensive laptop. This is my baby. For my audio, for my recordings, I use this Blue Digital mic. It connects to your computer, and it can also connect to your iPhone. I use it for my computer. I really like this. It's one of the more affordable models that they have. I find that this has not broke on me like some other mics have, and I just really like it. I'm not a professional, so I have no idea what the best stuff sounds like, and I can't really tell the difference. So I just use this. I know it sounds better than just singing into the microphone that's on my computer, of course. I also have an adapter. It plugs in with a USB, so I have this USB-C converter. Plug that into my computer. And then there's also a place where you can put your headphones in. For headphones, I'm the actual worst. I used to have the American Airlines earbuds that they gave you in flight that have awful quality, and I would use those. Mine just broke after 2 years of using them. So I've now moved on to what I had in the airplane on the flight to Japan. These Japan Airlines headphones, which, they get the job done. So that's really all I'm looking for, is just to be able to hear what I'm putting in. To film, I usually have a Canon Kiss F something camera that flips around like a vlog camera, but I left that in America because with this coronavirus and me literally eating as fast as I can to Japan, I didn't think to pack my camera for the 5 months that I'm gonna be here, so really great on my part. Luckily, I have an iPhone 11 now. For years, since my sophomore year of high school, so for 5 years I had the iPhone SE, which in general iPhones have great cameras, but I have a really, really nice camera now, and I'm really lucky that my front-facing camera is just nice enough quality. Would use the back camera, which is even better, but I like to be able to kind of make sure things aren't overexposing at random times. I just like to have control and see that control while I'm filming stuff. And then for what's on my MacBook, I have GarageBand. I technically have Logic downloaded, but I really don't use it because it's too advanced for me. And I feel when I overlay tracks, I don't know, it gets confusing. And then I use Final Cut Pro to put all my videos together when I make my YouTube video. What I'm gonna do is pull up a new window, and I'm gonna go to YouTube. And I'm going to also have GarageBand pulled up in a second. So today the cover that I want to do is Selfish by Madison Beer. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just Google. Also, you can see my search history on YouTube. I do play Wizard 101. It is a guilty pleasure. Highly recommend during quarantine. So I'm going to look up Selfish, Madison Beer. I'm going to pull it up. And what I'm going to do now is I listen to the song, and then I will write down the chords that I hear on a piece of paper. I will go through that. Usually with pop songs, it's the same 4 chords over and over, so it's very easy. Now I have them all written down, and I've double checked with myself to make sure and played the chords on a piano app. This is literally it. I just heard it and wrote it down. I don't know. Now that I have that all written down, I'm gonna head into GarageBand. Usually when I'm doing this, I have my piano app open on my phone, but I'm using that to record right now. So what I'm going to do is go on an online piano just to be able to check things and make sure I have everything correct. I'm going to go into the song on YouTube, and then I'm going to do this tap to find tempo thing on GarageBand till it kind of balances out. And that's how I know to get the tempo. So it's about 150, so I'm going to put that in there. Then I'm going to say choose. I'm going to click audio, and then we're going to start. I always have a metronome on when I'm doing this, and the 1, 2, 3, 4 count in, because especially with acapellas, you need everything to be in sync. So having that metronome really helps, especially if you're not doing any sort of beatboxing to make percussion. I immediately will go in and use these little presets that they have. I'm a hoe for the compressed vocal. I think it makes my mic sound like more studio-y. So I go with the chords that I have written down, and I listen to the song, and I hear like kind of the rhythm of like how the chords are in the song as a bass. You get to see this in action. Kind of. I know it sounds ugly now. It'll get better. I have this little button over here that I found. It lets you add like random little things. Like there's a Springbox function that I like to add some more reverb, I guess. And I'll like make the style simple. I'll make it short. And I'm turning it down a lot because I've already got a little bit of reverb from the compressed preset, so I just do that. And then that has this track kind of how I want the audio to sound. So I'm gonna duplicate this a billion times every time I add a layer. Okay, so I just put down all the chords that I'm gonna use as kind of like my bass for this project. So like I'll show you, I'll like have it solo and then I'll like add on things. So starts with this, like for one, the bass of the chord, like, and then I add another one, and then I add another one. And then I'll show you what else I added. I added the same chord but one octave up. And does this make sense? And then when you put them all together, it sounds like. So now I'm gonna go on and layer with other things that I hear. For example, like I'm gonna add harmonies where I kind of want to add them. For acapella, I feel like adding more harmonies can never hurt, so I'm gonna do that. So what I usually do now is I go in and I sing the melody. I also drink way too much tea when I do this. This is my third cup of black tea. Shouldn't love you, but I couldn't help it. Had a feeling that you never felt it. I always knew that you were too damn selfish. Don't know why I looked the other way. This is what the rough product would sound like. Shouldn't love you, but I couldn't help it. I had a feeling that you never felt it. I always knew that you were too damn selfish. Don't know why I looked the other way. I wanted you to change, yeah. In terms of recording, I can't really show you what I do. I just kind of sit in front of the window, put my phone in a high place, and I will just like lip sync. I know people kind of get on to people for lip syncing when they sing, but like the thing is, you can't really do acapella to its perfection just live and like putting a thing in without a metronome and without GarageBand. Honestly, like you just gotta do it in advance. Especially because if you're doing it by yourself, there's no way to like track and make sure you're doing everything right. Like this is like the method I do. Like I acknowledge and I'm open that it's not me live singing into this camera. Also, if I just did it to the camera, the quality would be like no bueno. And then I'll get on Final Cut Pro, and basically what I do is I just shrink down the size of the video and then like move them into different spots, and then I just sync up all the music. I'll put down links below on how you can layer your videos and then shrink them and move them around so you can have a bunch going at once. Very easy, and just sync it up to the music and then export it and then upload it to YouTube, and then that's it. I don't even really make thumbnails because I'm lazy. But that's basically how I make my acapella covers. I hope it was at least a little helpful. I don't really have a method that involves theory or training or anything. I just kind of hear things and then repeat them back into my computer, and they somehow mesh together. I don't know. So if you have any other questions, be sure to pop them in the comments below. I'll be happy to help and answer as much as I can. Overall, that's how I do it. Yeah. All right, see ya, bye. I refuse. Shouldn't love you, but I couldn't help it. I had a feeling that you never felt it. I always knew that you were too damn selfish. Don't know why I looked the other way. I wanted you to change, yeah. Shouldn't love you, but I couldn't help it. Always knew that you were too damn selfish. Bet you thought you gave me real love, but we
We spent it all in nightclubs.